Hey everybody, going to do a real quick update on my 20-gallon open-topped office tank. For some time now, I've been waiting on some medicated fish food for my Bolivian Ram that's in this tank. I couldn't remember the name of the medication, but apparently it is uh, levamisole, levamisole, something like that. Anyway, I got my flakes this morning, and the instructions are to feed the tank 2 times a week with the flakes. I have to turn the lights out on days that I feed because apparently the food is light sensitive. I have to do a 75 to 100% water change after I've fed the tank, and I have to do a thorough gravel vacuuming along with that water change. And of course, I have to wash my hands immediately after handling the fish food. So I'm not sure whether the food's going to be worse than the problem. It sounds like I'm putting some kind of really toxic stuff in there. I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't run carbon in my tanks, so I'm not worried about the carbon. Normally if you're putting a medication in the tank, if you've got carbon in your filters, you really should take that out because that's what the carbon is there for, is to remove chemicals from your water. So if you've got carbon and you're medicating, take the carbon out. In my case, I don't have to worry about this. And I will say that presumably the massive water change and gravel vac is not to remove any residual medication that's in the tank. That's actually part of treating the fish. If I'm feeding the fish medicated food, I clearly believe it's because the fish must have some sort of internal parasite or something like that. And part of an internal parasite's life cycle is getting pooped out down into the substrate so that it can reproduce and send all of its little swimmers back up into the water column or get picked back up in other fish food or whatever. So doing a really thorough gravel vac probably has more to do with trying to remove as much of that type of stuff as possible as opposed to simply removing the medication from the tank and that sort of thing. And likewise with the massive water changes, probably less so of removing the medication and more about removing the little swimming parasites that are looking for host fish or what have you. So that's about it. I got my medication in there for the first time today. Later tonight or tomorrow, I will do my big water change and gravel vac, and we'll go from there. I'm supposed to be treating this for several weeks. Like this, as I said, twice a week for 3 to 4 weeks. I have to do this, so we'll see if the progress, if we make any progress. If my little Bolivian Ram in there, and I doubt you can probably see him, but he is right in there somewhere. There he is, swimming around right there. So we'll see if that doesn't put a little bit of weight on and start filling out in the belly. I do have another one I bought at the same time, and it is in my basement 29-gallon tank, and it looks fine. It's got a normal sized belly, and it doesn't look all skinny and thin like this one does. So I suspect something's going on with this one. We'll see if this medication doesn't sort it out. So make sure you're subscribed, that way you won't miss any of the updates I got coming up on this or any of my other tanks. And then don't forget, of course, this one is my 20-gallon office tank. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you real soon in the next one.